up, relaxed, and warmed up.
That's about what it took us. Yeah, long.
You just heard from Don the Dragon Wilson. He is our next Living Legend Award recipient. Don Wilson is the only kickboxer to win 11 world titles in 3 weight divisions. In his career, he has defeated 11 other world champions, 12 one contenders, and 15 champions on 4 continents. He's also had a successful acting and producing career, being involved in dozens of movies. We are here in Fresno, and we are honoring to give this 2019 Living Legend Award to Mr. Don the Dragon Wilson.
So you kids are, do they take martial arts regularly, or they're the students here? So oh, good. Because I thought this was actually this leaned more, because I'm pretty experienced at the movie part of it now. And I know they do some, I guess, something. What do they do? Something, Debbie, here for films, or they do some acting things? Yes.
They have this camp, and also they do hip hop, as you can see.
Yeah, dancing. Yeah.
Yes.
I even did hip hop last Saturday.
Oh, good.
What's the similarity between hip hop and martial arts?
They're both structured.
Very good, but what else? To me, first time I took a hip hop class, I went up to the instructor afterwards and I said, "These are martial arts moves," and he goes, "A lot of them are very similar, if not the same, as the martial arts moves."
Well, this is going to touch on a lot of different things then, because I normally teach martial arts seminars, just either kickboxing or self-defense. But I could see you guys, my movies you would not see. Your parents, and they're R-rated, which means they should be 17 and above, and they're a little too violent for you. But I did bring a movie that was made for kids here, The Martial Art Kid. And let's see, yeah, this one. And this one, moms and dads and everybody, the kids can see this one. It's very similar to The Karate Kid, of course, where the student, the lead of it, has problems in his life, and through the martial arts, he overcomes his problems. So this one is very similar to that, so it's got a good message, and this one is appropriate for you kids. But I started martial arts kind of like you did, just in the beginning, just doing the same things. I was 17, which in those days, 1972, was considered young. And now today, today I saw a kid that was he 4 years old? 5 years old, 5 years old. Yeah, they start much younger now than my day. But to me, it's a good thing because you learn things in martial arts other than the punching and the kicking. Who can say something that you learned other than just the actual techniques? Yes?
You learn how to block.
Yeah, oh, defense is good. Right, defense. Yeah.
Well, when you do karate, it's also a mental state of being.
Right, that's more of what I was thinking is what other lessons you learn other than the physical part of it. Just when I say punches and kicking, I mean the exercise and the stretching and all that. You learn life, what they call life lessons. And the first thing, I remember when my kids first started, my wife said, well, are they learning to defend themselves? And I said, no. They're learning how to bow in the beginning, which basically meant they're learning respect first, like respect for the teacher, respect for the dojo, and in this case it would be, any room where you're working out is the dojo. It's just the school you're learning in. But and then respect for the other person. And so and also one of the lessons you learn in martial arts is you never use it for any reason but self-defense or to defend others. For example, if you saw somebody being picked on, like being bullied, you could, as a martial artist, step in and stop it. Or if somebody was attacking you, of course. But there's no really other reason to use martial arts other than protection of yourself or others. Right now we have a thing called MMA. You guys heard of that, right? It's where all the fighters are fighting, and they are making a lot of money now. It's a great sport, and I'm a big fan. I like watching MMA. But they're not spending the time teaching the average MMA student why you use martial arts. That it's only for the reasons that I mentioned. And that's why if you've heard this guy, Conor McGregor, if you heard about him, well, anyway, he's a fighter, and he got thrown in jail and he's one of the champions, because he attacked a bus where there were other fighters, and he didn't like one of them, and he threw something at the bus, and it broke the window and cut a bunch of people in the bus. So that's a bad example of, he's a martial artist and he's a fighter, but he doesn't have the discipline to even understand what you guys have more discipline. You know not to do something like that, right? Yeah. I mean, you're not going to hurt somebody just because you're mad at them because they're competition in a fight or something. But he's a champion, and he lacks that much respect and in my mind, credibility as a champion to do that kind of thing, to cause a problem. So anyway, it's MMA. Well, I like it. It's the quote, the new martial arts. It's fun. It's a nice sport, but it's not teaching what you guys learn in here, which is discipline and respect. And the proper use of martial arts. So anyway, I started with you, like you guys. I was 17. I was in the Coast Guard Academy. I studied Japanese karate, goju. And when I went to Florida, I quit after 1 year. I didn't like the academy. I went back to Florida. My brother taught kung fu, so I started taking kung fu. It's not like I thought kung fu was better than karate. It's just my brother taught kung fu, and I could take lessons free. So it was a matter of pay lessons to learn Japanese karate or free lessons and learn kung fu. And I ended up becoming a Kung Fu black belt. And I fought this first fight in 1974 in the state of Florida, kickboxing. And I immediately liked the sport, fell in love with it, and I ended up kickboxing for 28 straight years. So what I teach, and I will teach you guys, we will do a little self-defense before I leave, after the lecture part of it, but I like to teach really basic self-defense because I've been in life or death situations. I've had actually 2 guns pointed right at me, and several knives pulled out by people. Nobody tried to cut me, but they did pull it. Basically, they were afraid of me, and they thought that would stop me. But we're going to do a little bit of self-defense. That's what I like to teach, not kickboxing. That's just a sport, you know. And you guys, too young to be kickboxers, and I wouldn't tell any of them to be kickboxers. Yes?
Is that different than your original agenda here?
My what?
Is that different than the original agenda for today?
You know what? What did you want to learn? Because there also, I said, there's movie.
Self-defense.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been teaching you some self-defense techniques that you can use right out the door. You
Well,
don't have
look,
to train
it's
forever.
not just for women, though. It's for everybody. It's for the kids. Adults can use them. Yes.
Is this how it was advertised?
No. Do you know what? Everybody, let me know how it was, because it was told to me differently. As a matter of fact, just before we got here, they thought the emphasis was not on self-defense, but on movie fighting, which is something you wouldn't. Anything you see me do in the movies, don't do that if you're ever attacked. But the self-defense stuff I teach you, I think, for me, I'm glad there was one person who's interested in that, because for me, that's the most important thing I teach. I teach all over the world, and I don't like just teaching kickboxing. It's a sport. I don't like the movie fighting, because that's just, if you're going to go into the movies, you need to learn it. But there's no use of it in daily life. But self-defense, if it helps one person, I said, in a life or death situation, then that was worth everything. To me, that's the best benefit I can get as a teacher.
I used that as a bargaining point with Don's producer. I said, I want a one-on-one session with Don the Dragon Wilson, self-defense. We
We did one.
We did a video down in Canoga Park.
Yeah.
I entered that thing in film festivals. We didn't win, but we were actually chosen, which is a big deal in film festivals. It's a great, informative video. Of course, you know, I edited a lot out. Not they were self-defense moves, but a lot of, okay, well, we're taking a break here, you know, whatever. But I watched it over and over again. And keep in mind, I have a black belt. I've studied different styles. I learned things from Don that night that I never knew before. And if you watch my video, you'll see my face go like the light went on above my head. Because he has some tricks that don't belong to any particular martial art, but he learned them in football. But
yeah. I'm gonna let him teach. Yeah. I learned, you don't have to, I played college football, college basketball. I wrestled in college. I did a lot of, and that's pretty unusual. Usually, if you're an athlete, you will excel in one, but I was the MVP of my high school football and basketball team, both. And when I went to college, I went to Coast Guard Academy. I played football for them for 1 year, basketball and football, and then I transferred to a junior college, and they didn't have a football team, and the basketball team was picked. So I said, what other sports do you have here? And they said, wrestling. And I said, I want to try out. And he said, what's your wrestling background? I said, I've never even watched a match. He said, son, these are state national champions. He said, nobody starts a sport at the collegiate level. Like if you've never picked up a basketball, but you walk on at the collegiate level, do you think you're going to get on the team? Well, I got on the team of the wrestling because he saw I was an athlete. Basically, his 190-pounder couldn't do anything with me because I'm wrestling for my college degree, and he's just, you know, he'd already worked out, and I end up knowing the guy. He wasn't all psyched up like I was. So the instructor, the trainer thought I have potential. And my second year of wrestling, I was 4th in the state of Florida at 177. So I went from never having watched wrestling to a year later being the guy that beat me went to nationals the year before. He was a senior at like the University of Miami or one of the big schools, and yeah, he was a good wrestler. But anyway, I was a natural athlete, and the things that I teach are not things you have to be an athlete to do, because you don't have to be in good shape to defend yourself. It's not about strength, conditioning, or whatever. It's not a 12-round fight. Self-defense, let me tell you my basic theory of self-defense, and this is good for all the kids. It's a soft part of your body I'm going to attack with a hard part of mine. Now, if you're ever attacked and you have to fight me, it's going to be pretty hard for you to hit my chin because I'm used to moving all over, and you have to hit somebody on the chin about like that to stun them. Now, that's not the Mike Tyson knockout punch, but if I'm talking over here and somebody walks up next to me and just hits me like this on the chin, I'll be out. I'll be dazed, and then the next shot will take me out. So what you have to do is this. The softest part of my body, even after 28 years of kickboxing, I have no defense, is my eyes. This is like a grape. If you do this, you just took out my eye. You just pop. You poke. It would take me years to teach. Well, I don't know if even I could teach you to throw a left hook and knock me out. But you can take my eyes out just the first day, like right out the door. If I grabbed you, you turn around, boom, you hit me right in the eyes. 28 years of kickboxing out the door. Doesn't matter how big. Hope you never have to use any of the techniques. Yes, Macy, good to meet you. And hey, this guy's a good student. Yeah.